and the very hairs on your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows. Luke 12, verse 7. You know, you're feeling like when you're doing something, but you feel like it isn't good enough, maybe in comparison with how you imagined your future would be, or like how you imagined that you would be doing something. And it feels like God, yes, has answered you, but He didn't answer you in the way that you wanted. He didn't answer you in the way that you imagined. I got off a podcast. I was listening to a podcast by Megan Ashley, and she was talking to Nona Jones. Nona, not Nora, on platforms. And she said something very interesting, that if God really loves you, He is closing every door that you have been trying to walk through, thinking that 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 door would be your win, because He wants to make it crystal clear that it was Him that did it for you. My thing is, it doesn't matter if I got the most amount of money, or it doesn't matter if I have the most glamorous life. It just matters if that's where, if God is the one who brought me to that place. And I felt these things where I felt like, oh my God, maybe this is the achievement that I was able to acquire, or this is what I was able to achieve because I'm not good enough, because there's this, and that. And then God brought a word through another video on Facebook. Well, I was listening to this guy talk about how he was on a plane with this pilot. This pilot was his pastor, but then his pastor insisted on them coming on that plane. They had already booked their own plane, but because the pastor insisted on them riding together in this plane, the pastor passed out, and he's the pilot. Like, the pastor passes out, and now there's a storm, and none of the people remaining in the aeroplane know how to fly the aeroplane. I almost said drive. Fly the aeroplane. And so they called the headquarters and, trying to get help. The guys that were in the plane were on a phone with this guy, and this guy kept saying, "Focus on my voice." Like, never mind the storm. I know there's a huge storm, and it's a lot to, like, it's scary. Do not look at the storm. Just focus on my voice. And I felt like God was saying, focus on my voice. Stay on your lane. Focus on my voice. Focus on my leadership. Focus on my guidance. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. So my encouragement is this: if it's the Lord doing it, be still. The Lord knows what He's doing. He doesn't need your help. He doesn't need you to try and control your situation. So be encouraged.